Good morning, third grade. All right, so before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to all of you who had a part in the teacher appreciation video. I know it meant a lot to me and I thought it was super sweet, and I know it meant a lot to all the other teachers. So I appreciate that. I also received some letters over text and email, and that was super, super sweet, and I will save those forever. So thank you so much. All right, well, today we're going to start talking about measurement. Okay, this should be a fun and simple break from some of the other things that we've been talking about. Okay, so we're going to talk about feet and inches today. All right, not feet like the feet that you walk on, but a foot as in a ruler. All right, so a foot is 12 inches long. Okay, we are one of the only countries that still uses what's called the English system of measurement. Okay, which is funny because England doesn't even use it. So the English form of measurement is foot, feet, and inches, and yards, and miles. You'll hear a lot of other countries, most other countries, and we even use it too, use the metric system, okay? And so they use meters, kilometers, and that's all based on the number 10, okay? So today we're going to talk about the English form of measurement, and that is a foot and inches. All right, so a foot, this is a foot right here, okay? And this handy dandy ruler, pretty cool. You can see through it. All right, so a foot is 12 inches, all right? So if you look closely on my ruler, this foot is divided into 12 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 12. And each inch, this is how long each inch is, okay? Now, if you look, there's some lines in each of these inches. That line right there, the taller line in the middle, that's a half of an inch, okay? So there's our fractions come in, a half of an inch. The little bit shorter line, those are quarter inches, okay? So we have 12 inches in a foot, okay? So if you know how long a foot is, how long a ruler is, you can estimate about how long things are going to be. Like your teacher is 5 feet tall, okay? That's not very tall, but your teacher is 5 feet tall, all right? So what about a desk, okay? Now, if we were in school, our desk might be a different size as what your desk is at home. If you're sitting at a desk, you might be sitting at a table like I am today, but your desk might be a different width than the ones at school. But let's estimate the ones that we sit at school from one side to the next. About how many feet do you think it would be? I would estimate about 2 feet that our desks are. I don't know, I'm not there, so I don't know, but I would say that our desks, from imagining it, would be about 2 feet. All right, what about a poster? What about a poster? I have a poster right here. I write down all of our family Zooms for every day, okay? So let's say a poster. From side to side, it's about, or from length, it's about 2.5 feet. All right, what about a backpack? What about a backpack? If you're doing it from top to bottom, I would say it was about 1.5 feet, or side to side, probably just about 1 foot, okay? So if we're going to figure out, since we know that 12 inches are in a foot, and we're wanting to find out inches and feet. How can we do that easily? Well, multiplication in our head, but we're going to make a table. So look at page 536. We're going to make a table. Okay, we've done this so many times before, an input-output table. Okay, so the top is going to be feet, the bottom is going to be inches. Okay, so if 1 foot equals 12 inches, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could do it longer than that. So if 1 foot equals 12 inches, how many inches are in 2 feet? 24. How many are in 3 feet? 36. Multiplication. How many are in 4 feet? 48. Okay? So 1 foot, 12, 2 foot, 24 inches, 3 foot, 36 inches, 4 foot, 48 inches. Okay? So I'm telling you, your multiplication tables always come in handy. So make sure you know them. Did you do multiplication practice yesterday on Math Fact Monday? Sure hope so. All right. So if how could I make a table? Let's talk about it. How could you make a table to help find the number of inches in example B? So if I say 3 feet, 1 inch, okay, first find out how many inches are in 3 feet, 36. So if it's 3 feet, 1 inch, it's gonna be 36 plus 1. So 3 feet, 1 inch, 3 feet, 1 inch equals 37 inches. Okay, so if you're adding inches and feet. So remember back when I said that I was about 5 feet tall? I'm actually 5'1". So how many inches am I? Okay, so if I have 5 feet, now I don't have it up on the table up here, but what would the next set of inches be? Well, what's 5 times 12? 60. So 60 inches plus 1 inch would be 61 inches. So I am 61 inches tall. All right, so for your homework tonight, or this afternoon, you are going to do practice page 537, A and B odd. 537, A and B odd. Okay, so you're going to need to multiply the feet times 12 or make a table, multiply the feet times 12, and then add any extra inches. 537, A and B odd. All right, well, what about tomorrow, Wednesday, or later this afternoon if you decide to do them together? Okay, we're going to move to 538. All right. If we were at school, I would have a yardstick. I do not have a yardstick here, okay? But a yardstick is 3 feet put together. So a yardstick is 3 feet put together. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so a yard is about from the tip of my longest finger to the edge of my shoulder. Okay, that's about a yard. So 3 feet are in a yard. So if you have 3 feet, you have 1 yard. Okay, so with, I don't know how much your parents have talked to you about social distancing, okay? But if you've heard anything about social distancing, which means when you see people in public, we need to stay 6 feet apart from each other, okay? Just so that if you cough or sneeze on them, hopefully your germs won't spread as fast, okay? So 6 feet apart from people, all right? So do you think that people are gonna carry around rulers? No. So you have to visualize about what 6 feet looks like. Okay, so 6 feet, if there are 3 feet in every yard, how many yards are in 6 feet? Did I ask that kind of weird? Okay, so if there are 3 feet in every yard, how many yards are in 6 feet? 6 feet makes up how many yards? Well, what's 6 divided by 3? 2. Okay, so 6 feet is the same as 2 yards. Okay, so if I have from the tip of my finger to the edge of my shoulder, okay, then plus my other arm to the tip of my other shoulder, that's about 6 feet. Okay. My husband is also 6 feet tall, so I could just have him lay down everywhere to see how far 6 feet is. No? All right. Okay, so we have a yard, so the customary units of length. Let's look at page 538. There's a little box that talks about customary units of length. So we already talked about that there are 12 inches in each foot. There are 3 feet in each yard. So how many inches are in each yard? What is 3 times 12? 36. So there are 36 inches in a yard, 3 feet in a yard, 36 inches in a yard. Okay. Oh, that said it right there. All right. Now there are 5,280 feet in a mile. Okay. So if you run a mile or drive a mile, you are driving or running 5,280 feet. So how many yards would that be? Well, 5,280 divided by 3 is 1,760. So there are 1,760 yards in a mile, 5,280 feet in a mile. Okay, it's very important that you know those measurements. Those are measurements that you are going to hear for the rest of your life. So let's make sure we know 12 inches in a foot, 3 feet in a yard, 36 inches in a yard, 5,280 feet in a mile, 1,760 yards in a mile. All right, so if you want to run around an Olympic track, okay, when the Olympics end up coming a year from now, you have to run around it 4 times to get to a mile. All right, so if we are doing a table, let's look down. How do you change units? If we are doing a table from yards to inches, what are we going to do? Okay, so the last one was feet to inches. This one is yards to inches. Okay, so I have my yards up on the top and my inches down at the bottom. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I know that there are 36 inches in 1 yard. So 36 times 2, or 36 plus 36, would be 72. So there's 72 inches in 2 yards. 3 would be 108. If you do 36 plus 36 plus 36 plus 36 would be 144. So in 4 yards, it would be 144 inches, okay? So that makes it easy to figure out how many inches are in how many yards. Okay, so let's look at check on page 539. It says, change the units. You may make a table to help. How many feet are in 2 yards? Well, we know that there are 3 feet in a yard. So how many feet are in 2 yards? 2 times 3. 6 feet. Okay, how many inches are in 4 yards? Well, I just made this table. So how many inches are in 4 yards? 144. Good. All right, let's look at number 3. And it says number sense. This is when we start using our noggin. Would you measure the length of a parking lot in yards or inches? Explain. Well, parking lots are usually pretty big. So we're going to use the biggest measurement that makes sense. We're not going to do it in miles because that's you probably wouldn't have an even number of miles. So we would definitely do it in yards as opposed to inches. Okay, we're gonna go around and do it by inches. We're gonna do it by yards, okay? Now, if you wanna figure out how many inches it is, you would take the yards and multiply it by that many inches, okay? And it's probably not going to come out exactly even number of yards, but let's say it was 21.5 yards, okay? That's a little easier than saying it by inches, okay? So a parking lot is going to be too large to measure in inches. All right, so for your homework tonight, whenever you choose to do it, you are, sorry, my screensaver came on. You are going to do 539 A and B odd. 539 A and B odd. You're going to change the units. You can make a table to help if you need to. If not, you can just do multiplication. Okay? So I will see you in a few minutes. Make sure that you send in your homework.